The meaning of life. Unconditional love among all humans. We must first examine the two theories at hand dealing with the summum bonum. The summum bonum means greatest good. Immanuel Kant's theory of the good points at goodwill. Goodwill can be explained as the disposition to do the right thing. Let's look at what Kant called the talents of the mind. Intelligence, wit, and judgment or reason are said to be talents of the mind. He proceeds to show how these talents are not intrinsically good. Intrinsically good meaning they are not good in and of themselves. For instance, if one possesses illegal intelligence and uses it to infiltrate bank accounts to extricate monies falsely is using their good quality for a bad motive. A goodwill thus makes the intelligence good. To elaborate, one uses intelligence to become a doctor and treat cancer. The intelligence, then, has been used in good measure through the application of goodwill. Goodwill, therefore, allows one to be worthy of the happiness associated with the sphere of action taken. The second theory, dealing with the summum bonum, or greatest good, is that of John Stuart Mill. He believed that the greatest good for human beings is happiness. Mill formulated the greatest happiness principle. Mill, citing his impartiality thesis, felt that no one's happiness is neither of greater nor lesser importance than anyone else. He believed in the collective greatest happiness of the greatest number of people. There are some advantages, such as its application to reality. This theory is able to locate morality in something undeniably real and important to it. It also leaves out any of the metaphysics dealing with the God issue, and is easily transferable into politics, where the greatest good for the greatest number of people involved, the citizens, is ideal, though in my opinion rarely practiced. I see a problem with this greatest happiness principle because it could actually sanction the oppression or even extinction of an entire group of people. Take, for example, the Nazis and the Jews. If the Nazis were using the greatest happiness principle, it would make genocide morally correct if it were shown to be beneficial to the greatest good of everyone else. Not in any position to play God. One must see that the greatest happiness principle that he talks about cannot be the summum bonum, or greatest good. Although Kant's theory and Mill's theory are not completely feasible, they do show strong points of well-being. Happiness is something we all strive for. Happiness, though, can be attained through wrong acts as explained citing the Nazis and the Jews. Hitler found that performing these horrible acts was beneficial to his because he felt that it was for the greatest good of his people or cause. But only through goodwill is happiness actually deserved. Therefore, it must be true that the greatest good in life is happiness through the application of goodwill. Goodwill being the means to happiness as the ultimate end. Though we all strive to be happy, the only morally correct manner by which to achieve this end is through instrumental goodwill. An example. A man's got a whole lot of money. He could either use it to help people with it and help himself at the same time, or he can keep all the money to himself, just keeping his own greatest good at mind. So keeping some of the money, perhaps, and giving away the rest would be morally correct because the man's goodwill allowed for others as well as himself to benefit from the money. With the application of goodwill, a greater number of people benefit and are affected. And the man's happiness as an end is truly deserved? And the man's happiness as an end is truly deserved. Happiness through the goodwill as a summum bonum now touches on the meaning of life. The meaning of life is factually unknown, but theories can be easily identifiable. It must be something that all persons can feel and identify to be true. I present the meaning of life as unconditional love among all humans. If all people possessed this unconditional love, then the quality of life we all live would be amended for the best. There would cease to be poverty, crime, hate, racial differences, pollution, and hunger. Over time, of course. A world sans all these problems is a better world. An ideal world, a morally correct world. While seemingly a farce due to the way we currently live, unconditional love among all persons is the definition is the definition of an amicable life, and such should be a reflection of the meaning of life. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. In Christianity, it is said that one should love one another like one loves oneself. This is based on the premise of attaining heavenly status upon death. In essence, if one has goodwill and takes steps towards happiness, then by one's actions being morally correct, one is promoting unconditional love by maintaining morally correct conduct. Practicing unconditional love allows no room for a person to morally wrong another. Aside from the religious, unconditional love is an intrinsic good that any denomination of humans can relate to and strive for. Happiness through goodwill promotes this unconditional love. Happiness through goodwill promotes this unconditional love, thus creating a sphere of correct moral action. Fuck, are you kidding me? The emphasis on virtues and the abhorrence of vices is also a measure in the living of life toward unconditional love. For instance, it is virtuous to be friendly rather than grouchy. Thus, love is undeniably a virtue, and the happiness and love of one another through goodwill sure could be the meaning of life.